Yeah. Yeah. What is going on, LBHT crew? B and Hendo.
Ooh.
What is going on, gentlemen?
What's up?
Hey, it is Wednesday. Look, I warned y'all. The day after trade deadline, if we don't make a move, the right move. Okay, we did make a move. The Ravens will feel my wrath, and today has come. So listen, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well. But if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. Listen, my week started off really well. It was my fiance's birthday. Happy birthday, April.
Happy birthday.
It was on Halloween. We had a really good time. We took 2 days off of work, so we enjoyed that. Back to work today. They tried me today. I said, not today. No. I'm saving all my energy for the show. All right. So let's take a look who's in here.
We had your own little MCU experience that we can talk about in the overtime too.
Woo! Oh, I had a real life altercation with 3 Spider-Men. 2 were on my side. 1 was not. We'll definitely talk about that on the overtime show. It was kind of a serious situation. I should laugh at that, but it's funny in retrospect. Alfonso Richardson, what's good? He says, "Hey, what's good with you, Alfonso? Thanks for coming through." Raven Ron says, "What up, LBHT? Hopefully this defensive Smith is a healthy one." Hey, we'll talk about Roquan Smith. I have nothing bad to say about Roquan Smith. I think he's an excellent player. Let's get that out the way right now. I think he's an excellent player. But I got a problem with the move. And obviously, you guys know what I'm talking about. C Iron Addict says, "Big trust." Hey, shout out to you, C Iron Addict. Thanks for coming through. Moses Jeremy says, yeah. Andre Miz is in the house. He says, "What up, Lee and Hendo?" Yes, Davon, a guest. Technically, he's a guest, I guess. Sort of. He's part of the family. Yes. Hashtag LBHT crew. That's what I'm talking about. Agent E, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. I'm glad you like the intro. He said he likes the intro. Thank you.
Thank you, Agent.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Just Aloe, what's going on? Says LBHT crew. What up? Jose, Brodny, and Hendo? Hey,
what's up,
you? Hey, let me not forget this because I got flamed last time because B Mr. Comment. Kimberly's in the house.
Okay.
What's up? Says, "Hey, lunch break hot take. Long time no see."
Kimberly?
What's up, Kimberly? Thanks for coming through.
Always remember who actually put your comment up last time, Kimberly. All right.
What's up, Big Reg? Darius Simmons is in the house. Yolanda's in the house. Hey, shout out to y'all. Yes. Shaheen. Always gotta give a shout out to Shaheen because where he watches, it's like 2:00 in the morning and he watches every show. So shout out to you. Yes, indeed. MJ's in the house. What's going on, MJ? Mr. J the 6th. Oh, don't worry, Mr. J. We're gonna be covering some Panthers news as well.
Woo!
Woo!
Or some Panthers non-news.
I got look. Listen. We're gonna talk about it. It's a little bit more to it than just the what's been reported. But we'll talk about that. We'll see what you guys feel about that. King Johnson's in the house. Says, "LBHT, what's going on, fellas? Been looking forward to this one all week." Hey, y'all got a taste on Monday if you're following Coach Evans and Sit Too Tired Films. That was an excellent stream.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent stream. Marco G, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. Dapper Don says, "Yo, what's up with you, Dapper Dons?" Our man Suge Knight 323 says, "Yo, 2, 3, and 5." That's a little hurtful.
It is.
That's just a little bit hurtful. He's talking about where he ranks his favorite YouTubers. So I'm number 5, I guess.
No, he switched it. You're number 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm moving up the ranks. Power rankings. Andrew.
What's up?
Hey, good to see you, my friend. Shout out to you. Let's talk later. Okay, we got some things to talk about in the fantasy football world. One session says, "What's up, LBHT crew? What's up with you?" Yes. Okay. All right. We got through everybody. Look, man, we are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. So hit the like button, subscribe, follow, do all that good stuff. Whatever you do on Twitch that's positive, do that. Okay. We're still trying to figure that out, but we're on there. We're streaming live. And what's up, Tracy? I see you, Tracy. What's going on?
What's
What's
up,
up, Tracy?
Thanks for coming through, Tracy. Also, if you are listening to the audio podcast, okay, it is Thursday. Happy Thursday, and we hope you are enjoying your lunch break. All right. And if you are an audio listener watching the stream, you can also listen to this. We put it out every Thursday at noon, at lunchtime, because it is lunch break hot take. It took OTR Mike to tell me one day, say, hey, how come you put it out later in the day or earlier in the day? Why don't you just put it out lunchtime since it's lunch break hot take? I was like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right. So, man, I have a lot of topics that I threw at B today that I wanted to get to, right? You heard about Daniel Snyder. You know, my Brooklyn Nets are doing Brooklyn Nets things. Kyrie Irving is a problem out here. All right. I want to discuss this, but it's look, man, we got trades to talk about. Trade deadlines happen. So that's going to dominate this show. I can tell you that right now. All right. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact. And B has a Black History fact for you.
Yeah. So again, I want to keep this somewhat short so we can get through all the trade talk and definitely get to Kyrie and Daniel and all that. But I just want to spotlight a major figure in Black media, who I think again doesn't get a lot of spotlight. I'll say is Gordon Parks, born Gordon Roger Alexander Buchanan Parks. It's a little long for my taste, but that's all right. He was born November 30th, 1912, and he was a photographer, musician, writer, and a director. He was actually the first Black or first African American man to direct major motion pictures. He's kind of credited with co-creating the blaxploitation genre. He directed Shaft, the first couple Shaft movies. He directed a few other films as well. I meant to put up his picture. That's Gordon Parks right there. He started off as a photographer, doing a lot of fashion, when he first got into it. And then he kind of spread out when he started working for the federal government. He was doing a lot of work on Black poverty and segregation. He worked for Life magazine. He was doing photographic essays there. I can see a few more of his pictures here. This is the Black Panther Party, or a meeting of the Black Panther Party. This is one of the pictures that he did for the federal government, kind of, displaying Black poverty at the time. You got this is a picture of Ingrid Bergman, because he was he he had a wide set of skills, a wide range, right? Mm-hmm. So he was photographing famous people, poor people, anybody in between. You got the Women of the Nation of Islam here.
That's a nice picture.
Yeah, so he did a lot in that realm, and he also, like I said, he was directing major motion pictures and dealing with the subject of race, and he had a very understated style. And so I think it's kind of why a lot of the Black radicals at the time didn't really take to his work, because they found it a little too conservative. He started out with The Learning Tree, which is a little autobiographical film about his experiences growing up and dealing with racism in the U.S. He also later on did Solomon Northrop's Odyssey as part of the anthology show. I have the name here. I do not have the name here, but it was a show online or on TV. He produced it. It was a 2-hour film, and it was about the Solomon Northrop, who was the main character from 12 Years a Slave. He told that story long before 12 Years a Slave came out. Apparently did a much better job of telling the story, but that's neither here nor there. Right. But Gordon Parks, he passed away, unfortunately, in 2006, but his work is on display in the Chicago Museum of Art, the Library of Congress. The Learning Tree was actually one of the first 25 films to be selected for the National Film Registry, and then later on Shaft was added as well. So he was a very prolific artist across many, many mediums, who I think just doesn't get the kind of praise that should come along with that. So again, that's Gordon Parks, musician, photographer, writer, director.
So he lived to almost 100. He's like what, 94? when he
93.
passed?
Yeah, 93.
Salute. Because most of these stories end way too soon, man.
Facts.
Yeah.
He lived a full life. So hey, that's good news. And speaking of good news, Mr. OTR Mike is here.
What's up, Mike?
What's up?
Hey man, thanks for coming through. Yes, we got a little mini roundtable going on here. We gotta get Chris on the show one of these days. Yeah, we gotta get him on here.
American Playhouse, that's what it was called.
American Playhouse.
Solomon Northrop's Odyssey.
There you go.
Back in
I
1984.
wasn't sure if you were going to come up with the name first or just Aloe, because just Aloe. Just Aloe B won that round. Don't worry, you got the next one.
Right.
All right, look, let's get into it. You guys have been waiting all week for this. Obviously, the news of Roquan Smith broke. And you're waiting to see if they're going to make another move. Yes, there it is. Ravens trade for Roquan Smith. Hendo, let's start with you. Then we'll go to Mikey. Let's get your thoughts on the Roquan Smith trade and just, the trade deadline now moves in general.
Well, initially, I like the trade. I figured, it's something that we need. We need a middle linebacker that can actually cover, make plays, that'll lessen the burden on Josh Bynes. Initially, I was happy with the contingency of what are we going to do for the trade deadline? Were we actually going to go out and get some offensive help? Because I still think that even though we all know we need wide receivers, I still think we need an offensive line piece. We need some stability for me personally on that right side, or if somebody gets injured, just a swing man. The Ravens stood pat. They figured we have 5 draft picks and we're going to keep them. So the trade for me just it doesn't sit as well as it did the first day.
Okay. What about you, Mikey?
I like the trade. I mean, obviously, I would have liked to see an offensive piece, wide receiver, someone that a difference maker in that group. I think that is the biggest. I think that's the biggest hole on the team. But then I also feel like middle linebacker is probably the second biggest hole there. So I think they filled a need there, but I just don't think it was. I just don't think it was their most glaring need. So, but anytime you add a player like that, that type of talent, you get better, right? You add basically I guess we can call him a star linebacker. So I think you get better there, but I would have liked to see offensive move for sure.
That's what's up. Quick shout outs to Danity who joined the live stream. Hey, thanks for coming through, Danity. Appreciate it. Zeke Hokage.
Listen,
Top 5 dopest names in YouTube right there.
I was just sitting there reading and I'm like, that is a hot name. I'm like, Zeke Hokage.
Yeah. Keenan Ricketts says, get the likes up. Listen to Keenan Ricketts, okay? Listen. Get the likes up. Shout out to Coach Evans, says, good evening, fellas. Hey, good evening to you, sir.
Coach?
And make sure you subscribe to Sip 2 Tally Films, okay? That's where you can find us every Monday. And, and Coach Evans puts out videos all the time breaking down film. So, I mean, you want answers to anything, what's going on with the team? That's where you go. Sip 2 Tally Films, all right? What's up, Buck? Thanks for coming through. Says, 4 awesome dudes. Yes, our guy Darren's in the house says, I'm taking so much bleep for hating on this trade. Another offseason, another batch of wide receivers we miss on. I agree with you, Darren. But B, give us your thoughts real quick before I jump in here.
Well, I agree with our guy Chad right here. Thank you very much, Chad, for the donation.
Appreciate you, Chad.
He says that I'm not happy. Defund the defense. Get LJ help.
Yes. Yes,
so,
indeed.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I agree 100%. I'm good.
And Tanja, drive safe.
Pay attention.
Yes, Tanja.
Pay attention, Tanja.
But no, I thought, look, I said it on Coach's stream. I said it on Suge's stream yesterday. I thought the trade was an embarrassment, and that's nothing to do with Roquan Smith. Roquan's a very good player. He'll come in, he'll make the defense better, like Mike said. So it's not about him. It's about the fact that you have Lamar Jackson, who is an elite quarterback, and he is the only elite quarterback without weapons around him, without multiple weapons around him, and you continue to have that be the case. I mean, it's almost. I know that they didn't injure Rashad Bateman, but it's like you're taking stuff away from him, right?
Yeah.
You took away Hollywood. Bateman's going to be out for who knows how long, and you're just doing nothing to help him. I mean, Deshaun Jackson, maybe he gives you something, maybe he doesn't, but it's always on the offensive side of the ball. It's always, man, wouldn't it be great if this bum we picked up off the street turned out to be a superstar? But on the defense, it's, man, we better go get a superstar, because I just, it doesn't sit right with me that you trade Hollywood because you don't want to pay him, right? That contract's coming up, and it was the contract because it's not because he asked to be traded. He asked to be traded before, and they didn't do it, and then he asked again. It was because they saw what kind of money that they were going to have to kick out for Hollywood. Even the 5th-year option was going up, and they didn't want to do it, so they traded him, didn't replace him. But then you turn around and you trade for Roquan Smith, whose contract is expiring, who you're going to have to pay a massive contract to if you want to keep him. Mm-hmm. And they want to keep him because he plays defense.
Yes.
Right? So you're sending your star quarterback out there with less than every other star quarterback in the league and telling him just deal with it.
Yeah. And a quick shout out to Shug for the donation. Appreciate you, Shug. Says, there's my number one, the GOAT. Oh, that's what he Talk Mike says, shout out to 2, 3, and 5. Just remember, at least you are top 5. Jose and Mike, biggest surprises from the trade deadline. Shout out to the LBHT crew. See you all in the OT. Yes, indeed. Also, open mic is fire. Can't wait to the next episode. Yes, and make sure you guys subscribe to Open Mic with OTR Mike. He is absolutely right about that. Shout out to Marco G. Let me bring this up one more time. Marco G, appreciate you. Says, I like the trade as middle linebacker was a weakness, but no excuse for McDonald and defense now. This defense is expected to carry us deep in the playoffs. Less pressure on offense and Lamar. Ravens further prove they allocate everything into defense. God deliver. Hey, I like that approach, right? If you're a person that says, hey, I like to trade, but I'm holding defense accountable, cool, right? But most people don't. And we say that. But when we get into these games that we're losing, we're giving up leads, it's, well, the offense got to do a little more. No, they don't have to do it anymore. If they get you a double-digit lead, then I don't care if it happens in the first quarter, you better hold it. Right?
If they get you a 3-point lead, you better hold it.
Yeah. And most of these leads were given up in the fourth quarter. So I would say the offense is doing their job. So if we didn't put up any more points, so if we had missed opportunities, that's how the offense is built, right? And if you get a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, you better keep it, because the defense that we're trying to build, we're trying to get back to those 2000s defenses. Mm-hmm. And you had a 10-point lead going to the fourth quarter, it's a wrap. If you had a 10-point lead going into halftime, it's a wrap. That's the kind of defense that we had, right? And if you're trying to make it into that, you got to hold them accountable.
I got a question for Z the Beast. Why can't we have both?
This one right here?
Yeah.
Says, okay, Z the Beast says, Roquan Smith or Chase Claypool, which one would you rather have? It's simple. If I had to pick one, it's Chase Claypool, no question. Mm-hmm. Which one's going to help Lamar more? Right? Here's the thing. Roquan Smith, I think, is an excellent player. Excellent. Let me start there. I really like Roquan Smith. How much of a difference do you think he's going to make to the team overall? I don't think he's going to make much of a difference, right? The defense is already starting to play better. I think he'll add to it. You think he's going to add to the turnover count? You think he's going to help keep teams from scoring a little bit more? Maybe a little bit more. Right. But he doesn't help Lamar. He doesn't protect Lamar. He can't run routes for Lamar. And that is who we're expecting to win these games, not Roquan Smith. If Lamar gets us up at the end of the game, right? Field goal, touchdown, whatever. And that other team is driving to win, right? We're not expecting Roquan Smith to make the play, or even that defense as a whole to make the play to stop them, because that's what happened in Miami. We did go back up, right? We got the field goal. We did go back up. They went down the field and scored a touchdown, right? And all I heard was, well, yes, look, they got flamed. I'm not going to say the defense didn't get flamed for that game. They get 28 points in one quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard a lot of, well, the offense got to do more as well. No, they don't. No, they don't. They got you to lead at the end. Keep it. Shout out to, where is he? I see you, Free Indeed. I see you in here. Free Indeed loves arguing with us. I wanted to pull up your comment. He says Hollywood requested a trade. Free Indeed. You listen. Yes, he requested a trade. He also requested a trade the year before, and we didn't trade him. Why is that? Right? Because he still had value to us. Going into his last year, they didn't want to pay him. They knew he was going to want to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, yeah, we'll honor your request. And so what if a player requests a trade? Players request trades all the time. You can say no. You know who else requested a trade this offseason? Deebo Samuel. Right? Did the 49ers say, hey, what can we do? He requested a trade.
Right.
Or they say, look, take this money and go out there and play. We could have easily done that. All right. Shout out to Raven Ron. I see you for $3.33. Man, I love the symmetry here. $3.33 donation. Appreciate that. Okay. Says, I think Roquan Smith move makes up for not getting Khalil Mack in offseason. I disagree. Why didn't we do both? Khalil Mack went for a 4th round, I believe. This is insane to me.
No. He went for the 2nd and 5th. He went for
2nd and 5th. Okay. Yeah. I give up a 1st. No problem.
No questions asked.
If they say, hey, we're getting up a 1st round pick for Khalil Mack and a 2nd round pick for Roquan Smith, I would still say, hey, we gotta get Lamar some help, but damn. I'd be a little bit more quiet right now if they made that move. But they didn't. What do you need to hold on to that 1st round pick for? Who are you going to draft that's better than Khalil Mack? Nobody.
A corner. Joey Porter Jr.
Right.
Yeah.
Joey Porter Jr. coming to town. Going to unite the Steelers and Ravens.
What's up? Hello, love friends. Thanks for coming through, man. Tom just says, what about the playoffs when all the receivers disappear and Lamar running around? Saw that bad movie before. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Twice.
Because I don't care. I mean, look, what's Roquan do when we play the Chiefs or the Bills? Those guys are going to score points. That's just how the NFL works now. It's not saying anything bad about our defense. We have a good defense, but they're going to put up points. How are we going to answer? Right? Our wide receiver core is probably the worst in the league. Mm-hmm. It's probably the worst in the league. Agreed. Rashad Bateman, we are going into week 9, and we don't know what we have in Rashad Bateman, if we're being honest. Right? The injuries, they happen. It's unfortunate. I still have faith in him, but I don't have faith in him like I have faith in Tyreek Hill. Right? I don't have faith in him like AJ Brown. Right? Like I don't have faith in him like those guys, and I don't think you guys do either. Right? We keep trying to just get by on the offensive side. And I'm going to ask y'all, man, like, if Lamar leaves and we replace him not with Tyler Huntley, we go and get, I don't know, Kirk Cousins, right? Are we sitting there saying, good enough, right? You can go out there and win, right? We got the defense, and these guys are good enough. Hey, Bateman can play, Duvernay can play. Or are you saying, get this guy some weapons, or we're going to get crushed? That's all I'm saying. Right? That's what people are saying about Aaron Rodgers right now. He doesn't have any. Yolanda said, yike, Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is lighting it up right now. He has everything around him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But yeah.
And got a new pass catcher.
Who'd they get?
TJ Hawkinson.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Relax, guys. We're not allowed to ask for weapons for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
If you ask for help for Lamar Jackson, you are a defender. So you got to relax. It's not allowed. Right.
There should be a couple of comments.
Every other quarterback, though, you can ask for weapons, but not.
Yes.
I heard if you ask for weapons for Lamar Jackson, it means you never played the game.
All right.
I don't know where the correlation came in there, but that's all right.
All right. First off, there's about 9 people in here. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, hit the subscribe button on Ravens Online on Gatekeepers and Open Mic with OTR Mike. Okay. Just do it. I promise you, you'll thank me for it. Okay. Great follows.
Listen, go ahead and hit it on Ring Kings too.
Yeah, hit it on Ring Kings. Yes. Don't worry. We're gonna break down all the places you need to go and subscribe. Okay. Just trust us. Let's read some of these comments because they are coming in hot. Mr. J6 says, I'm just EDC traded for somebody that's in his prime. I just want, yeah. Thought the Ravens were turning into a senior citizen community center. They don't want to pay anybody what they're worth. Akeem Johnson says it's crazy how fans get hyped over beating a bad Bucks team.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's up, Garnett? Garnett says Greg Roman needs to put his players in the best position possible to be successful. Period. Yeah, he needs players too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mike McDonald needs to do the same thing. He hasn't been doing that. So why are we rewarding him? Why are we getting him more help when he hasn't been doing his job?
If we're being honest, the best position to succeed for James Prochet and Tyler Wallace is on the bench. Right?
Wait. Hold on a second.
Watching better receivers.
Hold on a second. I see what's going on here, Garnett. You're not going to get one over on us. I saw your tweet. Okay. I see what's going on here. Garnett has been compromised, ladies and gentlemen. He's been compromised. Okay. The GM, Eric DaCosta, sent Garnett a personal shout out, a personal video shouting out our friend Garnett West. All right. Mm-hmm. So now all of a sudden Garnett is, he's not that bad. Actually, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's doing what he can. I see you, Garnett.
Listen, right? he can only pick the players. He can't coach them. He can't develop them. Right?
Can he pick them?
No.
I mean, listen, you put Devin Duvernay on another team, maybe he is that 1,000-yard receiver, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just Allo says both the Bills and the Chiefs give up more points per playoff game than the Ravens since Lamar got in the league. Yet we continue to put all our eggs in the defense. Yeah. The Bills and Chiefs. Yeah, and the Bills are way better defense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Bills. They traded for an offensive player as well. They have 3 running backs already, and they went and they said they're not good enough. Let's get another one.
Yep.
Yeah. What's up, Andre Mears? He says, as much as I would like a wide receiver with Claypool built, I wouldn't want to blow a second rounder for him. He's mid at best. LOL. He'll be Miles Boykin here all over.
Andre, Chase Claypool is over 850 yards his first 2 years. Don't talk about Miles Boykin. He is a legit starting wide receiver, and he's better than every player in Baltimore.
He has almost
not close.
Almost more yards than all of our pass catchers combined. Right. Well, the wide receivers, not the tight.
What did they get up for Claypool?
Second
and the 5th.
Second.
No, just a second. Just a second.
Yeah. I do that in a heartbeat. And I understand, yes, I think Roquan Smith is a better football player than Chase Claypool, but you got to make that sacrifice to help Lamar. Which one's going to help Lamar more? It's going to be Chase Claypool. So get him to help. I don't care. Again, I don't care about what goes on in defense. They have enough resources on that side of the ball. Tell Mike McDonald to start doing his job and putting them in the right position. So they're not trying to fight the head coach because of stupid calls, right? Get Lamar some help, because all that's going to happen in the end is we're judging Lamar based off whether we win or lose. It's never going to come onto the players, onto the defensive side. Roquan Smith is never going to be judged off of, did they close out the game, right?
Well, yeah, you can agree with it or not agree with it, right? But I ain't never heard middle linebacker wins. I hear QB wins all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody cares how you get them, but nobody's ever going to put a loss on the safety. Nobody's ever going to put a loss on your D tackle. It's on your quarterback. Yeah. So you need to get him help.
Yep. There you go. Free D said here we go. I want Lamar to get help, but who was available?
Brandon Cooks, Chase Claypool, Elijah Moore, Jerry Jeudy. You know, there was a lot of guys who were better than everybody in Baltimore who was available.
A lot. All right. In fact, Garnett and Coach have a list of how many players, how many wide receivers are better than the wide receivers we have, and they weren't even done with it. We had to add some more to that.
Weren't we up to like 54 or something like that?
54 or something like that. Yeah. We have the worst wide receiver core in the league. Who's worse? Who's worse than the Ravens at wide receiver core?
I think
type in
Green Bay.
Nobody.
Type in the chat. I'm curious what you guys think. Type in the chat. Which team do you think has a worse wide receiver core? Just curious.
Who got it worse than us? Nobody.
Andre. I gotta ask you, Andre. Okay, Claypool ain't it. Which one of the Ravens receivers is it? That's what I want to hear from you, because we're not comparing Chase Claypool to Jamar Chase. We're not comparing him to Justin Jefferson. We're comparing him to Devin Duvernay, Rashad Bateman, James Prochet, and Tylan Wallace. So which one of those guys is it?
Yeah. And I feel you, Andre, right? But, you know, like, when we talk about getting a top wide receiver, this is what's funny about us fans. We talk about getting the top wide receiver. We say, no way. He's going to cost too much. No way. He's going to, they're going to ask for 2 first-round picks. He's not worth it. So when we have an opportunity to go after one of those guys like Tyreek Hill, right? Tyreek Hill could have easily ended up in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. It wasn't, hey, I'm only going to play for Miami and no place else. It wasn't the Chiefs saying, we're only going to deal to Miami and no place else. Miami was the team that stepped up and gave the asking price and paid the wide receiver, right? And all of y'all were saying it wasn't worth it. How many of you guys even remember what he got paid or what they gave up to get him? And by the way, just to let y'all know, shout out to Marco G. I'm gonna read that in a second. Miami also made a move on the defensive side in Bradley Chubb. Just saying, okay. Mm-hmm. They are probably top 3 in wide receiver cores,
right?
And they went and got a difference maker on defense.
And it's crazy. I'm sorry, it's crazy because they got all of these picks off the Laramie Tunsil trade. Wow.
Listen, that was bold because I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have given up a left tackle, but yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to Marco G, man. These $3.33 donations, I love them. He says EDC logic, bait out for a month. We getting Roquan. Yes. Even Bears trying to build around their QB. Yes. Mm-hmm. I don't think even G-Ro would mind a playmaker wide receiver because it makes his job easier. Front office needs to make it happen. Tua underthrows Hill. Waddle, go get it. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, look, I keep seeing everybody say Green Bay has the worst wide receiving core. Have y'all looked at Allen Lazard's numbers and compared them to anybody on our team? Like, have you
I'll take Lazard and Dubs.
I was about to say
right now.
Have you looked at Romeo Dubs? Have you looked at his numbers and compared them to who we have? Like, we have the worst. It was I would have given the Bears the slight edge, but now that they got Claypool,
right?
I think they surpassed us very slightly, but it's not Green Bay. Green Bay, if you take out the tight end position, we talking straight wide receivers, we have the worst room. We just have to accept it. We have the worst room. That's just what it is. It's not Green Bay. Green Bay has a better room than we do at the wide receiver position.
Now you're saying they're worse because they're not doing so great right now. You know why? They have a worse quarterback.
Yep.
I know that seems like, how could you say that? That's Aaron Rodgers, right? 2 MVPs in a row. Yeah. He's worse than Lamar. Right? He's not bad, but he's not Lamar.
And I mean, our guy Garnett, I love him. He say we reaching, but somebody like, how do we compare? Do we compare by numbers or what? Because I mean, I think Lazard has 4 touchdowns.
Wait, I'm curious. I'm curious. I mean, you can make an argument. They're not great receivers, but who do you think is better on our team? That's what I want to know.
Right.
And shout out to Zeke for the $3.33. Says What did it say, B?
Says, donating felt good once, had to do it twice.
Hey,
That's what I'm talking about.
Appreciate it.
Respect.
Look at that. We got 100 people in here. Go ahead and hit that like button real quick. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button. Man, you guys are passionate about this. We'll go a little bit longer on this topic. Look, I just want to throw out there because, Panthers, they didn't make a move. They didn't make a move. And I want to get your thoughts on it real quick, okay? We keep the conversation going about the Rays, but I want to get your thoughts on this. Brian Burns, I think he's an excellent player.
Yep.
And the Rams think he's an excellent player. And the Rams said, we will give you 2 first-round picks for this man. All right? Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm sure this is what the Panthers were thinking, right? They said, wait a minute. Man, you ain't got no first-round picks. What are you talking about? They said, no, not right now, not on me, right? In 2024, 2025, you got that, right? And they said, nah, I'm not feeling this situation. We're going to hold on to our guy. Also heard that there is some interest, there's some high interest in DJ Moore. Of course, we figured that there would be, but they said they're going to hold on to him as well. Yeah. B, how do you feel about Brian Burns not getting traded?
I feel terrible about it. It's ridiculous. He's a good player. He's not an elite pass rusher, and you're offering multiple first round picks that the Carolina Panthers need. They are rebuilding. They don't want to. They may not want to believe it. I know David Tepper doesn't want to say that, but that's what you're doing. And look, they're not rebuilding from scratch. They do have some talent. They have a good O-line. They have a good number 1 wide receiver. They've got some talent on defense, but you're not close to all the way there. You especially if you start winning games, you win a couple more games, and then you can't get your quarterback. Then you're nowhere, right? Then you need those picks to be able to move up and get that guy, right? And I'm saying, like, if they win 2 or 3 more games and they end up not getting Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, I don't want to hear a single person complain about them not having a quarterback because you got Brian Burns. You got your boy. He's still there. He's going to demand a massive contract this offseason. And, it is what it is. They can be Baltimore South.
2 first-round picks is hard to give. It is hard to walk away from.
Right.
But, I mean, they ain't this year. Right, they're in the future, but look, it's.
But they got extra picks this year in the Christian McCaffrey deal, and then they would have 2 first-round picks in 2024 and 2025.
Yeah,
and not to mention, you can package one of those first with somebody else. It doesn't. Yeah. You don't have to use it for that year. You can use it for something else.
Yeah, hey, look, salute to the Rams. Even they're not even doing great right now. They're like, yeah, we got a future first round pick for you, man. Right? Like they still
Cam Akers was in the deal as well.
Listen.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
These guys, I'm at the point now where I'm thinking the Rams ain't never gonna be bad. All right. Like everybody saying, oh, they mortgage their future. They're like, guess what? The future never comes.
Yeah.
Right? We can keep trading future picks for players. That's their mentality. And we're going to stay competing right now.
Like, yeah, people keep saying it's going to catch up to him. It's going to catch up to him. And I saw a tweet I was laughing at. They're like, they drafted Jared Goff, and they said we're never picking in the first round again. And it's funny because he was their last first round pick in 2014. So it's been 8 years now. Yeah, they've got some injuries on the O-line, so they're not great right now. But they won the Super Bowl last year, so it's not catching up to them, right? It's just another way of building. And I think it's hilarious for Ravens fans to say, oh, it's going to catch up to you. It's going to catch up to you. It's going to catch up to you. When you're the kings of, oh, well, there isn't just one way to build. We can definitely win with 18 middle linebackers and 75 tight ends.
B
in 30 seconds.
Chen Wu has a comment for you. Shout out to Chen Wu.
What's up, Chen Wu?
He says, Panthers have a stud, Bradley Bozeman. Now, I'm not sure if you're trolling or
he's trolling,
but he doesn't.
He does now because Elfline's hurt. But yeah, he didn't win the starting job because he is not good.
Yeah. All right. Look, man, these guys,
all right.
they are all in here. I wanted to bring this up real quick for Garnett. Now, Garnett says for numbers, we literally have no context going back to comparing Ravens wide receivers to Packers wide receivers. Let's go look at the targets along with utilization. If I just go look at stats and not understand the scheme, then I will be judging incorrectly. But we asked you, what are you judging them off of? Because you said that they are worse wide receiving core than our wide receiver core. So what do you look at?
And that's fine, Garnet. Yeah, you want context, but the problem with that is you don't have context for the Ravens receivers because they've done absolutely nothing. None of them have done anything in the NFL. So what are you judging it on? Hopes and dreams?
Well, like I said, look, I mean, they're not a great wide receiver core. So if you're saying, hey, no, I don't think they're good, what are you judging off of, right? Okay, stats, fine. You want to say they have a different offense and they throw the ball more than we do. I'm not even sure if that's true right now, but fine, right? You looking at eye tests? Because my eyes tell me they're better wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what my eyes tell me. But I mean, that's an opinion thing. So I mean, we can argue that.
Nah, if you want to throw out stats, right? I mean, if we can compare stats, and then I seen somebody else in here said this is a different offense. Okay, so then any wide receiver you bring here isn't going to fit. Then if we're talking offense, right?
Right.
Because obviously this offense isn't one that is conducive to the wide receiver position. But on top of that, at the end of the day, right, you need a wide receiver that's gonna go out there and win matchups a majority of the time. We don't have that, right? Mm-hmm. But if you compare and if we go in eye test, 1-on-1, right? So who's their number one? Lazard, right? So Lazard is their number one. Bateman is our number one. Look, I see a big body wide receiver who wins jump balls, who is solidly fast, and I see a guy, but the one thing they do share is they both kind of stay hurt, right?
Yeah.
But I think a big body wide receiver fits Lamar better than Bateman, right? So I'm gonna get a slight edge to Lazard, and then give me the rookie Romeo Doubs over everybody else that's on our team. That's all I'm saying.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
How come everybody says? I'm sorry, how come everybody says they want a big body wide receiver, but every time you bring up some big body wide receivers, you say not that one.
and honestly, again, like
not that
what you're saying is no. Gonna ask if you'll take Lazard over Bateman. Bateman don't play.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, it doesn't really matter. But you'll take Lazard. You'll take Lazard over every other receiver. Devin Duvernay, Demarcus Robinson, James Prochet, and Tylan Wallace combined have about 500 yards.
Yeah, I like Bateman.
Tell me again who they're better than.
I like Bateman over Lazard, but we're talking about the whole unit, right?
You like Bateman's potential over Lazard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
but again,
if we're going off the eye test, I think Bateman's I think he looks like a better wide receiver.
I think they're basically the same person. Right.
Okay.
Now I think who has more potential to be better? I'd say Bateman. But when are we going to see that? I mean, he's hurt, right? He's probably not going. There's a good chance we don't see him again this year. Like, I hope y'all realize that.
Oh no,
right?
we don't.
His foot is like a foot injury is not. You know what I mean? That's for a wide receiver. That's just not one of those good things.
Right.
So it's not that. I just think overall, as a room, I think Green Bay is slightly better than we have. I don't. I mean, there's no shit. It's to me, it's reality. I'm not trying to diss on the Ravens. It's just who we are, who we have.
We didn't come up. We didn't put together this team.
Right. It's just who we have.
We didn't put together this team. Like we can't sit here and hype up this wide receiver core like they are a threat. They are not a threat to anyone. And shout out to Huddle Up Films. He says Lazard isn't in the same universe as Bateman. Both been hurt. No, they're in the same universe for sure.
Yeah. I got a question for Jason. Jason says Lazard runs in slow motion. What is Bateman running in? A walking boot?
No, but Bateman but he's not running in slow motion, but he got bricks for hands. So I mean, each they both have situations where they need work, right? Lazard is small. I mean, Lazard is slower, right? Yes, we agree. But he doesn't really have an issue of dropping the ball from what I've seen.
Okay.
Bateman does.
Yeah.
So they have situations. So to me, they it's give and taken at that position. Then you look at everybody else. You look at Dubs. You look at the potential of Christian Watson. You look at those type of guys, and then you look at James Prochet, and Duvernay. I think Duvernay moves the needle a little more for the Ravens.
He skips the
But
rookie.
then as a complete group, I just think they're better. I feel like everybody's saying here, like the Greek, like it's hands down the Packers are the worst, and I don't think it's that clear cut. It's just my point. It's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like yippee with either group. Is my point, but I'm just saying it's not that much of a difference.
Right. And where has that speed? Where's that speed gotten Bateman? You talking about his 20-mile-per-hour time? Where's that speed gotten him? The most drops in the league? Is that he runs fast to drop the ball? I mean, let's be real about this. Bateman isn't the guy we thought he was right now.
Andre saying Duvernay actually has better numbers than Claypool. Did you know that? Yeah, he has 2 more yards than Claypool this year, and that's fine if you want to ignore what they did in their first 2 years, right? When Claypool was over 850 yards both seasons. I mean, if we want to be real disingenuous about it, that's cool. We can do that. Because, I mean, you're saying that, but you're not mentioning the fact that he's got Kenny Pickett and Mitchell Trubisky throwing him the ball, right? With Matt Canada coordinating the offense, who, by the way, is a worse coach than Greg Roman. I know y'all think he's the worst ever. He's not the worst ever. But yeah, okay, he's got more yards than
we got Steelers fans in the chat to confirm that
right now.
Right.
Yeah.
I promise you, I'm sure it won't be that at the end of the season.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Look, we want to keep it going. But we have another guest here. B. Fired. Hold on. Let me make sure. Fired it up, B. Fired it up.
Weezy, come on, baby. Weezy, come on, clown it, baby. Come on, twinkle, twinkle, baby. Twinkle, twinkle. Weezy, come on, baby.
It is time for lunch money bets for all you gambling degenerates out there that need your fix. All right, look. It's kind of hot in the chats here, D Weezy. We need 3 hot bets. All right, we gotta get back into this trade deadline, and I'm gonna get your opinion, get your thoughts on the Panthers non-trade as well, because you're a Panthers fan.
All right, yeah. So to kick things off real quick, looking at the matchup with the Baltimore Ravens and the Saints for Monday night, I'm looking at a lot of things that are saying that the under is quite possibly the way to go. We see Bateman hurt. There's even more chance that the Ravens won't be throwing the ball in this game and trying to rely more on the run game. So rushing props are definitely something that are going to be able to be targeted. And definitely looking at this team on the spread. I believe the spread was only about 3.5. I'm pulling it up right now. But either way, right at 3, maybe, or you might even find this at 2.5. Baltimore isn't a big favorite in this game. I would expect a lower scoring game. The total's at 48.5. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something along the lines of 24-27, somewhere in that range. Might be yet another game where the Baltimore Ravens win by a field goal. Justin Tucker on the field goal prop might be an area to target for those that have that available. But yeah, in this game, I definitely think, it didn't come in last week, but the Lamar's rushing prop is definitely an area that can be targeted, especially if we're going to see Bateman out for some time and the injuries that we've seen to the running back core. I don't agree that they should lean on Lamar more in the rushing game, but I expect this is what we'll see happen.
Unfortunately. Yeah, I agree
with you.
Yes.
It ain't about what we necessarily want to see or like to see, but if you know what they're going to do, there's ways you can make money off of it. It's that simple.
All right. As a fellow Panthers fan to Brodny over here, and Mr. J in the chat, and Mr. Omar Tillman. Shout out to Omar Tillman. What are your thoughts on the news that the Panthers turned down 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns?
It's definitely a steep price. I think it would be interesting to hear what some of the potential negotiations were, but not being able to get something in 2023, I think, was the real big hang up there.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked that they tried to shop him. We've seen a number of players with this team potentially tried to get shopped in the past. CMC, even when they were trying to get Stafford out of Detroit, he was an option then. CMC was used as a potential option in trying to go after Deshaun Watson. It was rumored Brian Burns was a part of the potential packages there. So it definitely seems counterproductive to what you're hearing from the organization, but sadly falls right in line with the idiotic nature that we've seen out of David Tepper as his time as the owner.
All right. Hey, well said. All right, D Weezy. Look, I look, I want them to be hungry. So I told him I told you just give them a taste. Give them a taste. All right. And that's what he did. He gave you a taste of the bets out there. Look, D Weezy got a lot for you. Okay. NBA has started up as well. And if you want to make some money, you hit up D Weezy. D Weezy, tell everybody where they can find you.
Yes, everybody, y'all can reach me at Backyard Action Media here on, Backyard Action Media here on YouTube. I also have a Patreon, BAM News, where you can sign up to get even more exclusive betting content, information, analysis, angles. And I'm also working on building my own Discord channel, full server. Those that are part of the LBHT, you see the channel there. That'll likely still remain, but I'm definitely working on more behind the scenes.
Yep, there you go. All right, and like he mentioned, he has a channel on our Discord, Lunch Money Bets. He also hangs out with us in the Overtime Show, and I think this Overtime Show is going to be it's going to be something special. So, all right, D Weezy, thank you for coming through, and we will see you soon, my friend.
All right, everybody, take care.
All right, yes, and real quick, as he mentioned, our Discord channel. Where can you find that? Let me pull up our overlay. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Patreon.com/LBHT Show, right below Mikey. Okay. That's where you can sign up. Look, we'll real quick, B. Let's go through the tiers because everybody wants to get back to this chat. Go through the tiers. We got 3 tiers. I'm just gonna tell you all right now. One of them price is going up. Okay. I keep saying it. It's going up.
A $3 tier, which is kind of for general support, and it'll also get you into our NFL Pick'em League, where we give away a custom LBHT trophy at the end of the season. Stop shaking your head. Stop clicking the picture. All right, we've got the $10 tier that'll get you into the Fantasy Football League. We've got a Dynasty League and a Redraft League. If there's enough interest, we can start up another Dynasty League as well. That also gets you the ability to request specific content. If you want a article or video on a specific sports story that we haven't covered, we'll produce that for you. And then we have the $20 tier, which is a combined tier for this show as well as our boxing podcast that we do with OTR Mike, Ring Kings podcast, where you get everything that I mentioned, as well as the custom poker deck featuring our top 25 fighters of all time. And all tiers will get you into the overtime show that we do every week after the live show, and they will all get you into the Discord channel.
And we're phasing these out, but act now. You can still get one of these nice shiny coins right here. All right, that's for the $10 tier and up. All right. Okay. Look.
Let me do one thing, Jose.
Yes.
You see what Jose's wearing?
I was just perfect. Yes, perfect time.
Do you see what B is wearing? Do you see what I'm wearing underneath of this?
Oh, look at that!
It's good Egyptian-like cotton.
Egyptian-like.
Listen, it's cold outside. Today was a little warm here in Maryland, so that's why I got the t-shirt on. But it's getting cold. You get you some of this merch. It's the best, and it's the best out here. That's all I'm gonna say.
Look at that, B. I even updated it. I even updated the promo. Right? Look at that. Look, you can get some Ring Kings merch. You can get you a nice new LBHT beanie. Okay, we don't even have that one yet. You can be the first to buy it. All right, you can be the first to get it.
So listen, early this morning, me and Brodny on the stream, I ordered my sweatshirt. Listen, I can't wait to get my microphone sweatshirt. I'm telling you.
Microphone man right here. Yes, we're selling these too. Okay. So yes, go on the store. LBHTshow.com/shop is where you can find this stuff. Okay. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Listen, this is why I cut out half the stories, because I know you guys are just gonna want to debate this, and that's fine. It's a spirited conversation. I'm glad you guys like it, and you're passionate and you have a lot to say. And shout out to the Wonderkin Show. Make sure you go subscribe to our man Nitro. Okay, he's starting out on YouTube. He's doing a great job. Very passionate about his Ravens and sports in general. Okay, so do us a favor, the Wonderkin Show. Go over there, hit that subscribe button. Okay, those are our people right there. All right, shout out to you. All right, look, let's bring up some more comments here, because you guys, boy, you have a lot to say here. All right. Oh, and I'm sorry, Raven Ron. I know I'm sorry. I forgot Degenerate Ron's bets. I'm gonna put it up here, D Weezy. We will discuss this later on, but I'm gonna put it up here. So D Weezy, pay attention to this. It's Degenerate Ron's back off vacation, paid by Caesar Sportsbook. Hey! I was supposed to read that. They're not sponsoring the show. My bets: Wizards plus 7.5 and Knicks -2. Lakers, Pelicans, one half over. 112.
First half over 112 points.
First
total.
half over 12. Pelicans -3 and Eagles -14, and one more, which is Justin Tucker's points prop cashes every time. D Weezy, your thoughts? Hey, overtime show, okay? And Raven Ron is a patron, so we will bring that up in the overtime show. Appreciate you. Andre Mears says, one of the main problems with Giro, he's really not wide receiver friendly. I'm sick of watching Pat Ricard get more snaps in the slot than our wide receivers, regardless of how bad people think they are. I agree, Andre. Yep. I know we debate about Prochet all the time. I need to see Prochet out there running routes more than Pat Ricard.
Yeah, I don't agree. Like, when he has talent, the talent gets their numbers. You know, when he had Sammy Watkins, when he had Bolden,
I agree with the second part.
Burner. No. And we talked about that before. I don't agree with that either. What James Prochet isn't doing anything for you. Like, he's just
Ricard.
No, Ricard blocks, and you have to have him out there so you're not signaling to the defense what you're doing.
Block.
No, he can't. Well, Prochet can't block a goddamn thing. Listen,
wow.
He might get you a personal foul afterwards, but he'll block him.
Yeah. When Giro has talent, you know, they get their numbers, they produce. And he just doesn't have it in Baltimore. They don't have wide receivers in Baltimore. That's why you're not seeing any production out of the wide receivers in Baltimore. He got production out of wide receivers in Buffalo. He got production out of wide receivers in San Francisco. Go get some wide receivers.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
But Pat Ricard needs to sit down, though. Yes, that's true. he doesn't need to sit for Prochet, but he doesn't.
But you know what? But again, why are you keeping Prochet on the team if there's no use for him?
Somebody got to cheer, man.
Why are you keeping Tylan Wallace on the team if there's no use for him? That's what I don't like about it. That's why I agree with Andre there.
Cheap rookie contracts.
But that's why I agree with Andre there, right? Like, they decided they wanted these guys here, right? They could have picked up anybody off the street, right? Anybody that could contribute more. And they said, nope, we believe in these guys. So how come they're not playing?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, too. Maybe we'll see Pat Ricard go to the bench more when Charlie Kohler's ready to play. Maybe he'll take some of those snaps, right? Because he's a blocker and a receiver.
Yeah.
I heard he's better than Likely.
Whoa, wouldn't that be a surprise?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a pleasant surprise, right? No, but I mean, to Andre's point though, I agree, but I think this team isn't wide receiver friendly, right? I mean, when I say that, I mean front office. Like, I think Engraven said it earlier this week. Like, they just don't value the position, and they've made it clear over the last couple of years. And we all kind of wait for that moment. We think that it's going to come. Oh man, this is going to be the time that they get a wide receiver, and they don't. So they have shown to this point that they just don't value the position as a whole. Now, I don't know if that's coming from, coaches on up. If the coaches are saying, nah, man, we good with what we got. Or if it's Eric saying, hey, man, look, this is what you're going to get. Do what you got to do with it. So,
yeah. Now, see, this is why I don't agree with you, Andre. He said, if the Steelers want to give us Claypool for a fifth rounder, fine, but why would the Steelers trade to us? because they
Well,
want picks.
If you talking about he ain't it, why not? You traded them Chris Wormley. That wasn't no problem.
Well, why would you want him for a 5th round pick if he ain't it? I wouldn't want him for anything if he ain't it.
Because he knows he's not like it, but he's good. He doesn't want to admit that he's good because they ain't get him.
Listen,
he
man,
went to Chicago.
I wouldn't trade for Prochet or Tylen Wallace for a conditional 7th. Right? No. And if you offered it to me, that means I know you're going to cut him. I'll wait.
Right.
And I still won't pick him up on off the street. No. Okay. Like if they ain't it, they ain't it.
Yeah.
Right. Like don't do this bargaining on the offensive side, but we don't do it for the defensive side.
Yeah, it's not one of those things where like a Denzel Mims for a 6th is better than Claypool for a 2nd. No, because Claypool is just better than him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like it's not a value proposition.
Yeah. King Johnson says, I believe Bateman is legit for sure. Injuries are part of the game. True. My guy's still only in his 2nd season, and Greg's offense is trash for wide receivers. Only top 10 wide receiver talent can overcome this nonsense. Yeah, which is why we need to go and get top 10 wide receiver talent, right? Or if we're getting below that tier, we need to get a lot. Our whole core needs to be at that level, right? That above average level. That so they're not dropping passes. They're they're running tight routes. They can get separation. Those little things, but our guys don't even do that. I mean, look, Coach Evans was in here earlier. I saw the tape. You're showing Bateman. It was Bateman who wasn't running a wide enough fade, right? He didn't get inside enough to run the fade, and he said it. Lamar would have had to throw in a perfect pass. That was a very low percentage pass, and Bateman's not giving him a chance to make that play happen. Right? Bateman is young. Yes. Yeah. Bateman is young, but he's not polished enough to run those routes yet. And we're not getting anybody that's polished enough, skilled enough, experienced enough to do that. So it's putting more pressure on Lamar, right? Lamar and the tight ends, because when that play doesn't work, then it's like, oh well, we try to get to our wide receivers, they can't do it. So let's go throw this to Andrews. Let's go throw this to Oliver. Let's get this to Isaiah Likely. So we're putting more pressures on the inside, right? It's poor play calling. It's bad all around. So go out there and get the talent that you need.
And Andre, I see you're saying that a 5th rounder is not going to hurt you. With a 2nd for him, hell no. A 2nd rounder ain't going to hurt y'all.
Have you seen our drafts? What second round can we not afford to give up?
And listen, it is not a question of whether or not Chase Claypool would come in there and be the best wide receiver on the team. That is a fact.
Tell me which second round.
There's no mystery there. So that's not going to hurt regardless.
Hey, tell me what second round pick we couldn't give up in the last 5 years, right? Which second round pick was so good that man?
Well, it's funny because they've only had 2 second round picks in the last 5 years. J.K. Dobbins, who appears to have destroyed his knee.
That's unfortunate. I like J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, I like J.K. Dobbins too, but he's a running back. And Tyus Bowser, who's he's a good linebacker, but
don't forget injured, bro.
Well, he hasn't set foot on the NFL field yet, so I'm not sure he exists. But we'll see.
Chilling with Andy Isabella.
We have seen him.
Bye, JK.
we have seen Ojabo. We have not seen Andy Isabella yet.
This right here, that right there is why you don't rush back, because fans will turn on you in a heartbeat. It is a cold world.
World.
I mean, I remember people telling me how J.K. Dobbins was one of the top running backs in the league.
Yeah.
And now they said, oh, I got to wait 4 more weeks to see him. Bye.
Listen. I was one of those people. I thought J.K. Dobbins playing Lamar was going to look unstoppable, right? Because he has the talent. And I felt like Bateman was going to be very good as well. But I'm also the type of person, I can feel good about somebody, but I ain't going to project anybody for anything. You have to go out there and prove it, because I've been around long enough to get hyped about somebody and see them not live out to their potential. Yeah. Okay. Travis Taylor.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Your boy, whose house you went to,
Mark Clayton.
Mark Clayton. Especially after his first season, I was like, we did it.
Right. Finally.
I was like, we did it. I was like, finally, we did it. We got our number one. Not so much.
Jake P. If he said the chicken box at roll for his mid, he needs to go. Maybe that's why he disappeared. he must have ran into the wrong person saying that. Maybe that's why we
they took him.
Yeah, that's what happened. They said, yeah, you need to stay on the practice squad. Andy Isabella, we haven't even mentioned Andy Isabella because I mean, what's the point? Right? I don't even know if he's ever going to suit up. I thought maybe they got him and Deshaun Jackson because they realized our wide receiver core is really bad and we need some experience. But I think maybe it's because Clayton is a friend of the channel. Hey, Clayton is offering. Hey, I got nothing bad to say about Mark Clayton.
Only one of us does.
I mean, I don't have nothing bad to say, but he could have gave me that jersey.
He wasn't my bad doing jersey.
He gave you a vitamin water.
I don't think look, I won't call him a bust, but I mean he was a first round pick. He could have done a little bit better for us, but he wasn't awful. He's way better than what we got on the team right now. Right? I include that over Bateman, right? Bateman has to show it. He has the potential. He hasn't shown it. Even when healthy this year, he hasn't shown it. He's shown flashes.
It blows my mind to see people talk down on Claypool. Like, no, he's not the best wide receiver ever, right? But if you trade for Chase Claypool, he's what, the 6th or 7th best wide receiver the Ravens have ever had.
I mean, and let's not act like he hasn't given us some work. Like Claypool has given us problems. You know what I mean? And like I think when you win the value of the pick that you give up for him, right? You know, if it's a 2nd round pick, like you just got to look at it. First of all, we're going to be winning, right? It's going to be a late 2nd round pick, right? Mm-hmm. So then you kind of looking at, okay, you know, contract, cheap, good player, and it's a pick. So what are you going to get if you stand pat and keep that pick? You know, what's the chances of you getting a player that can contribute? At least we know that Claypool will contribute. And he just contributes in different ways. He would fit this offense because they do give him the ball and like he runs the ball, he throws the ball, like he just gives you another weapon. No, he's not, you know, a legit number 1 wide receiver, but you know, he's not the hop or any of that, but he would be the best guy that we have in town. You know what I mean? And adding another weapon like him next to a Bateman, I think only is going to make him better. So it's just that's what we mean. Like it's I don't get it. I don't get it either, B, because he's giving us some work.
Yeah. The big thing about it too for me is, you know, it's not ideal to trade a 2nd round pick for Chase Claypool, right? Because I mean he's a knucklehead. He does stupid stuff on the field,
right?
And he's not the best wide receiver out there, so that's not ideal. But you could have used that 2nd round pick on George Pickens and you didn't. You know, you could have traded a 1st round pick for Stephon Diggs and you didn't. You could have traded a 1st round pick for AJ Brown and you didn't. You could have traded a package for Deebo Samuel and you didn't. You could have traded for DK Metcalf and you didn't. You could have traded for Devontae Adams and you didn't. You could have traded for Tyreek Hill and you didn't. So
could trade a 2nd for Jerry Judy. We didn't.
Could have traded for Jerry Judy and you didn't. You could have traded for Adam Thielen last year and you didn't.
He spent bars.
At some point, you got to pay the cost.
Right.
Yes.
And when you keep passing it up, you know, sometimes you lose. Sometimes it comes up 2nd round for Claypool.
Facts. And to both of your points, if we drafted better, we wouldn't have to trade for these players. So what are these picks really doing for us?
Right. Like because we tried.
Yeah, tried.
What do I always tweet out every time I see a trade happen? The Ravens were interested. Right? That's the famous thing. And I think I heard it at trade deadline too. Well, we were in on a couple of guys. Yeah, you're always in, right? You always, hey, what do you guys want? Hey, what do you guys want for Jerry Judy? Click. Then you wait for a response. Well, we want to. No. Sorry,
we'll call you back.
Coach said you sound like Busta Rhymes. Yes, when you keep passing up on talent, there's a cost to pay, and that cost isn't let's go get a linebacker, right? That's what's going to make you pay later on. And I look, I'm taking notes. We do this every single year. All we need is you know, a solid wide receiver. Our guys, when they get healthy, how many years in a row have we been saying when they get healthy? When they get healthy, they'll be good enough, right? You're doing projection. There's nobody on the team that is proven in the wide receiver core.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. We're projecting, right? I don't want projection. I want some facts. I want guys that we know can get it done. I know DeAndre Hopkins can get it done. When he came off of suspension, I was like, let's go ahead and start him in my fantasy lineup. I already know what he's about. Right? And what did he do? I don't know, like 20 catches, 100 some yards and a touchdown, because that's who he is, right? We don't have anybody like that.
No,
right?
Looking like he been playing since day one. That's what he's looking like.
Yes. And even with a player like that, they said, let's trade for Hollywood. Hollywood went down. Let's trade for Robbie Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hey, no, we got a question for you in the chat.
Man, I don't know.
He said, Hendo, you know who got George Pickens? This is Suge Knight 323, a Steelers fan, asking this question. Yeah, man, Pickens looks good. What's up, Raven C? Thanks for coming through.
What's up, man?
Yes, we putting in work, man. You already know. You already know. We got Raven C. We have a long list of people that we need to bring on. You are on that list, my friend. We will get you on here soon. I promise. Well, I promise we'll get you on. I can't promise.
We'll get you on after the Lakers make that trade and they catch up to the Celtics in the standings.
I want to tell y'all something. I want to tell y'all something. There is the original LBHT crew. The original LBHT crew was before we even came to YouTube. Okay. Only Mikey knows these people. They've been on our show a couple of times. They've been on our audio show. Jensen, Coach J, right? Some of y'all seen them in the chat sometimes. The other coach, Coach J. E, right? Crazy E, right? And Brandy. Y'all don't even know who Brandy is, right? But she used to come on our show, and it's not they haven't been ghosting us. We just we big league them.
Big league.
We big league them. I feel bad about that. Right?
I miss just doing audio only. Like, I think the best show we ever did was when we had that discussion on the Last Dance, and nobody even heard that.
Yeah. I think that was our most listened to podcast. Even our nephew Sadiq used to come on the show to discuss UFC and boxing. Now he did ghost us. He's too cool for us now.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah. But we've been meaning to bring them on the show. So I mean, look, we will make it happen. We will make it happen. All right. Nitro says we said we needed a wide receiver, and the answer was Andy Isabella and AARP Jackson. Yeah.
Now I do want to say I think Deshaun will produce a bit. I think Deshaun can still play, but it's a matter of how long is he actually going to be out there with Deshaun.
Yeah.
But I think that's the issue why he's on the street now, is that his body doesn't hold up anymore. Right. Because yes, I agree. I think he can produce. But how many games before he pulls a hamstring, he's always been frail. Right? He's always been frail, and now he's older. Yeah. So those hits, they hit different, literally. Shaheen says, prediction on Lamar's next team. I want all of your opinions. Look, we talk a lot about Lamar going somewhere else, and I'm telling you right now, I would be all for it, because more so than I root for the Ravens, I root for the black quarterback and the black coaches. All right, and he's getting the black quarterback treatment right now. I don't like it. I don't respect it. And if they're not going to do right by him, I prefer that he goes somewhere else. Now, with that being said, it is very hard. Right? It's very rare, even for a black quarterback, to get to move on when he is produced the way he's produced. As bad as everything looks, I'm still leaning towards they are going to make something happen. At the very least, he'll be tagged for the season. I don't see them really moving on from him. So that's my answer. What do you guys think?
Miami has put together a nice team for Lamar next year. They went out and got the receivers. They went out and got the defense. They just setting it up. They waiting for him to come home. Now, my thing is, what are they going to do with Roquan Smith? Because he's due for a contract next year. And for me personally, as well as he plays and as good as he is, middle linebackers today just aren't worth $90, $100 million. So are you going to franchise tag Lamar and pay Roquan because you just gave up 2 draft picks?
Yes.
Or are you gearing up now to try to replicate the 2000 Ravens defense because you know Lamar's gone?
Yes.
And you're going to just bring in some quarterback to be a game manager and you win with defense. So that's I see it that way.
I got so many game managers for you down in Carolina, bro. Like, take your pick.
Lamar's not going to Carolina though. You could have had 2 first-round picks to get him, but you gave it up.
Yeah. Look,
They can still trade him, I mean, it's not. I'm sorry, Mike.
No, you good. This your show, brother. This is your show. No, I agree. I agree with Zay. I think that they get something done. This is what I predict, right? They finally get Lamar done, and then they franchise Roquan. I think that's what's going to end up happening. But you want a prediction on a team, Shaheen? You heard it here first. If he does leave, he will end up with the Las Vegas Raiders in the black and silver. Heard it here first. Now, if that happens, I need everybody in the chat to send me $3,700 a piece.
So yeah, look.
Speaking of, we got 82 people in the chat right now, so just
hit that like.
Yeah, hit that like button, okay? If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Go ahead, B.
Yeah, if I'm being serious, I don't think he goes anywhere. It is, I mean, it's almost without precedent for a player like Lamar Jackson to switch teams. Now, Deshaun Watson did, but there's a lot going on with Deshaun Watson.
Little different situation.
Yeah. So players as young and good as Lamar Jackson in the quarterback spot don't move. Now, if he does move, I am like, y'all think I'm joking. I am going to say he goes to Carolina. And I'm saying this because you have the owner who, he keeps on wanting to make a splash. He keep on failing. He's been embarrassed over and over and over. He was in it till the end with Deshaun Watson and wasn't willing to guarantee the money. Didn't get him, and then failed with Baker.
Oh yeah,
they're going to get it. They're going to push it across the finish line this time. It'll be Brian Burns, DJ Moore, plus some picks, and Lamar will be coming home.
And shout out to Raven Ron for the $3 donation. Says, if Ravens pay Roquan a big contract and tag Lamar next year, does that guarantee that Lamar's out? No, I don't think so. I think they plan on keeping both of them. Right. I've been an advocate for EDC up until a couple weeks ago, right? Up until this year. I feel like there's some things that he understands that he needs to change up. He hasn't done it. I'm starting to wonder if he understands that now, but I still feel like he understands. I think he understands that he messed up by not re-signing Matt Judon and not re-signing Yannick, right? You traded a third-round pick for Yannick, and he wasn't producing the sacks that we wanted him to here, and let him go, and he went back to being Yannick Ngakoue instantly. Matt Judon looked like the Matt Judon we've never seen in Baltimore, right? Instantly. So I think he recognizes, man, like, we've been letting some good players on the defensive side walk out because we didn't want to pay. CJ Mosley, another one. CJ Mosley, when he went to the Jets, he got hurt. CJ Mosley is balling right now for the Jets, right? Yeah. We wish we would have paid CJ Mosley and kept him right here. Mm-hmm. And I think he understands we undervalued that position in particular a little bit. So we're going to pay a little bit premium this time to keep Roquan Smith. I think they keep Roquan Smith. I think the plan is still to sign Lamar Jackson. And I'll tell you what, B, if the Panthers trade for Lamar Jackson, that'd be really good for the show. because because listen, shout out to Panthers Nation, right? We trying to get some more Panthers fans up in here, and shout out to the ones that show up. That would definitely get more engagement on the show. And also because if he went to Miami, right, I'm not saying I'd be a Miami fan. I'm just saying maybe my background is going to be turquoise. Right? maybe you see on the LBHT show, because if you notice, we don't wear Ravens colors. We don't wear Ravens gear or Panthers gear, right? I might wear Ravens colors. I got a purple one of these, right? I got, we got a Bromar Jackson shirt, okay? Right. Like we got that stuff on the store. Maybe some other colors available is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
So I do want to. Danny says I'll be here for the Panthers only. I do want to change gears just real quick because we did get a Cash App on Sunday from Anonymous. I wanted to put this up and address it. He says for Mr. PJ Walker might have a new contract soon. And all I want to say is stop it, please. Please. Look, PJ Walker he's Ryan Fitzpatrick, but cooler, and we can't pay that. All right. They need to lose these games. They need to go and they need to draft that young man from Alabama. All right. And turn things around that way. PJ Walker, look, I hope he plays pretty well for the rest of the season. I hope he gets himself a job elsewhere. But it can't be in Carolina with a new contract.
Hey, my apologies, Suge. My apologies. Your Cash App did go through. Hold on a second. Appreciate you. Thank you. He says, hey, yo, B, relax on the disrespect on my QBs. You guys see the clip of Silva taking a dive last week? Shaking my head. Paul Brothers. Someone asked who my number 4 is and that's Mr. FBI Ferris. Oh, Ferris is number 4. What?
Yep. Ferris.
Let's not forget Old Man Gamers is back. Thank you, B.
We gotta limit your topics for $1 donations, man. Like you can't be hitting everything. You can't be slamming Old Man Gamers in there at the end too.
I actually glad you brought up that Jake Paul fight, because Ring Kings podcast is our other channel, right, that we do with OTR Mike. And if you are a podcast listener, you listen to Lunch Break Hot Take, you might have seen an episode of Ring Kings pop up. That is my bad. I put it on the wrong show. Right. So I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna keep it up on Lunch Break Hot Take. That's just a bonus episode. But I need to put it on the Ring Kings podcast as well. So my apologies for that. Listen, man, sometimes your boy gets a little tired. Okay,
that man working, man.
Yeah. So if you are our audio listeners and you're like, hey, there's no show drop, my apologies. It's on Lunch Break Hot Take. If you're a Lunch Break Hot Take listener and you saw that pop up, just consider that a bonus show. Okay. Yeah, I'm always messing up. I know, Suge. I know. Oh, and we got another donation. Shout out to Marco G. Appreciate y'all, man.
Marco G is on it.
Yes, says I don't think Ravens realize how lucky they are to have Lamar. He's humble, classy, carries himself like a pro, and no off-field issues like Watson. Nor does he have attitude of Aaron Rodgers, or I'm gonna throw this in here. What's his name? You like that guy? Cousins.
Kirk Cousins
punching his coach in the chest. Ravens need to realize that and stop taking him for granted. I think you're absolutely right. I think it's one of those things they're gonna take for granted, and if he does end up leaving, well, I mean, they won't have to think about it long, because EDC and the boys will be fired. Like that is the other side of it too, right? When you don't put your faith into a franchise quarterback, right? Especially one that's proven, you don't last. The coach don't last. GM don't last. House is always cleaned out. It never works out, right? So their careers, make no mistake about it. It don't matter what Bishotti says at all, because some of y'all may not remember this, right? Before Harbaugh came on, when Bishotti first took over for Art Modell, he said he's keeping he's keeping Billick, Brian Billick, right? Brian Billick had a terrible year. And he said, I'm going to honor his contract. He just signed a brand new extension. I'm going to honor that contract. We went out there and lost that last game of the season to the winless Dolphins. And he said, I changed my mind. Fired.
Yeah.
He changed his mind in a week. Okay? Do not listen to that man. Opinions can change on a dime. And once Lamar leaves, if he leaves, and we start losing, and we will lose. I don't care who you bringing on defense. We will lose a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Them boys are gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
All this talking about, Duvernay. I like him over this player. Oh yeah, Bateman's top 10. You're gonna find out real quick what life is really like. You don't have a superior quarterback. All right. Definitely been spoiled. And shame on them for getting lazy, because that's what they are. They are lazy. All right, couple more comments we get out here, because we come up on an hour and a half.
Never gonna send us a shout out video. No comments. We gotta do some rapid fire.
Oh yeah,
Week 9.
guys, we gotta do rapid fire.
Ready,
Get up out of here.
Y'all are ready to make your picks.
But real quick. So Ali Voso, right? I see his comment. I see a couple other people leaving these comments. Lamar goes, I'm no longer a Ravens fan. That's why we ain't got to worry over here, baby. Right? We we make that transition from Ravens. Yeah, I'll just come on with us.
Right.
All right, listen. You hear that? That's rapid fire. Week 9, NFL. Let's go. Yes.
All right. So we're starting off Thursday night, Philly at Houston. Brandon Cooks feeling betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Philly is arguably the best team in the league. I'm taking Philly.
Man, Philly is on a roll. 8-0. Let's go.
Philly.
For my wife, she's a Philly fan. I go with the Eagles.
Right.
We got the LA Chargers at Atlanta. Chargers are kind of clinging to that last playoff spot right now. I mean, it's a little early, obviously, but they got to keep winning to stay in it. I'm going to take the Chargers in a fairly big win over Atlanta.
All right, I got the Chargers.
I take the Chargers in a close game.
ATL Shoddy.
Okay.
We got Miami featuring their brand new edge rusher Bradley Chubb going up against Chicago with Justin Fields, the newly resurgent Justin Fields, with his brand new number 1 wide receiver. I'm taking Chicago in the upset.
Oh, no, I got Miami.
It's Miami.
Yeah, they get smoked. I'm going with Miami.
Dare to be great, guys. Carolina at Cincinnati. Cincinnati looked awful against Cleveland. Jamar Chase obviously not going to be back, but Carolina they don't look awful. They are awful. So I'm taking Cincinnati.
I'm taking Carolina. Man, listen. Jamar Chase took all of Joe Burrow's powers, like all of them. That man's looking around like, yo, what I do with this? What I do with this football? Who's it go to? No, I'm taking Carolina.
Ooh, really? I'm going with Cincinnati.
Look, I'm on the PJ Skywalker train.
Oh, you gotta give a score. I'm sorry.
Uh,
I'm Mikey's going with Carolina. I talked over you, Mikey. Hey, shout out to little Mikey, our other assistant producer for Ring Kings podcast. Yes.
Whoa.
B, give you a score for the game.
So I do think that PJ continues his play. I think he plays pretty well. I think him and DJ got the connection going on. But I think that they just get outscored. And I'm going to say it's going to be 34-27.
Oh, I'm going to say 31-24 Panthers.
Ooh, no.
PJ to DJ.
35-17 Cincinnati.
Woo!
Okay.
27-26. PJ Skywalker leads them on another game-winning drive.
Nice.
They should have won last week. They got cheated. DJ
Yes,
Walker,
they
DJ
didn't
Moore
get
was
cheated.
off the
They
field.
did.
No, there were other players who took their helmets off.
Well,
But they
we ain't
called
talking-
it. They called it on.
Yeah,
DJ.
but they didn't get cheated. Is what I'm saying. DJ got cheated on his penalty stats.
Yeah.
Moving on. Next up, we got Green Bay, because this is not rapid fire at all. We got pick it up. Green Bay at Detroit. All right. Now, despite the fact that they have the worst wide receiver core in the league, I'm taking Green Bay all day.
Oh man, I got Detroit.
I got Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay.
Indianapolis at New England. I mean, this used to be the game in the NFL, and now you could not pay me to watch this. I am gonna go New England because they're at home, going with the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going Patriots.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's not supposed to play this week again, so I'm going with New England.
Yep, New England.
Buffalo at New York. I mean, two titans of the AFC. You got to. I have to keep saying because I have to keep reminding myself that the Jets are good, but Buffalo is going to. They're going to do something rather obscene to the Jets this week. I'm taking Buffalo big.
I got Buffalo, but in a close one. This is a division game. The Jets are going to play them tough. I got Buffalo.
I agree. I got Buffalo. It's not going to be as big as most people think, especially if Zach Wilson goes out and Flacco comes in.
That ain't happening.
Buffalo trips over themselves. I'm going to Jets, baby.
Woo!
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Hey, we got a couple of Jets picks in the chat. Okay, I see you.
So we got Minnesota at Washington. I don't know if Jahan Dotson is finally going to come back and play this week. Taylor Heineke, they always seem to play a little bit better. They get a little spark with Taylor, even though he's garbage. Minnesota, I think that they could slip up, and this is going to be an upset for Washington.
Oh, I could see that too. I think you convinced me. I'm picking Washington.
It's a 1:00 game. I'm going with Minnesota.
Kirk Cousins back home. You like that? I'm going with Minnesota, but I like that. B. I can see that. I can see Washington still in this one.
Las Vegas at Jacksonville, two promising teams who have fallen squarely on their face, but I'm taking Jacksonville for no particular reason at all.
I'm taking Jacksonville because I think Josh McDaniels should have never gotten the job. I want him fired after year one. That's right. I'm a hater.
You are factually correct. Josh McDaniels is horrible. The New Orleans Saints held Las Vegas to 138 yards total offense last week.
No points.
Shut them down. No points. 38 yards rushing. I'm going with Jacksonville.
Yeah, I wanted to go Las Vegas because of their uniforms, but I think Jacksonville. I think the Jags win.
Next up, Seattle at Arizona. Kyler Murray was recently wowed by how big the quarterback wristbands are. I guarantee you he's not doing the homework. It's Seattle all day.
Oh, man. This is going to be a good game. But, yeah, I'm picking Seattle.
Yeah, I never thought I would say this, but I think I'm a believer in Geno Smith.
Yeah.
I believe in him now. But more importantly, I believe in Kenneth Walker, so I'm going with Seattle.
Where's OTR Quan? I need him front and center right now. OTR Quan used to hit me up all the time. Zay, yo, Geno sucks, yo. Yo, Geno's whack. All right.
Yo, I am so happy for Geno. Man, I couldn't be happier for that man. I hope this turns into a big time contract, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to Arizona. I'm taking Arizona. I think Little Man and D Hop, they get busy this week.
Why are you calling him Little Man?
Because who was it? LaShawn McCoy. The whole episode, he just kept saying, Little Man, Little Man, Little Man.
All right. Next, we got the LA Rams at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a disaster. I'm taking the Rams.
I got the Rams too.
Yeah, I got the Rams.
It's no way Tampa Bay if Tom loses 5 straight. Would it be 5 straight?
It'll be 4.
4. Well, he can lose 4 straight. So I'm gonna go with the Rams.
All right. Next up, Tennessee at Kansas City. Derrick Henry came alive last week. Malik Willis did not, so I'm going to take Kansas City in this one.
Yeah, I got Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City all day. Big.
I don't even know when they're going to lose again. They may not lose another game. I'm picking Kansas City.
Yeah, KC, they get busy.
And the Monday night game, the Baltimore Ravens, featuring their brand new middle linebacker wearing number 18, looking ridiculous, at the New Orleans Saints. Listen, the Saints are starting Andy Dalton. That's strikes 1, 2, and 3 right there. I'm taking Baltimore. I honestly, I mean, I can just spoiler alert. I'm taking Baltimore the next 5 weeks. I'm going to take Baltimore. Lamar, he always shows up in prime time. I think it's going to be a big win for Baltimore. 2 touchdowns.
What's the score?
I'm going to say that they go 27-13.
Yeah, I think they might hit the 30 mark here. I'm going to say 34-17.
Listen, Lamar Jackson, 13-1 against the NFC. Andy Dalton, 6-19 in primetime games, 0-6. But his last win in primetime was versus the Ravens.
Ooh.
So, being that he's the Raven killer, I'm going to go with Baltimore 23-20.
Yeah, man. Dalton, back when he was the Red Rifle, right? He gave us some fits. But
back
I don't
when
want to
AJ
hear
Green was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel like this game will be ugly early, and we will be disappointed and sweating, and then Baltimore pulls it out in the second half and they dominate again. So I'm gonna go 28-17.
Okay. I'll take that. Double-digit wins. All right. And that has been Rapid Fire, ladies and gentlemen. And we are wrapping up this show. Okay. Hashtag no 2 hours. OT is going to be a good one. Overtime is going to be a good one. All right. I'm going to give you guys a little preview. In fact, I already know we're going to go off script. I can feel it. This is going to be one of the shows. But here we go. Here's a little preview of the overtime show. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right. You see the old guy licking his lips. That is soon to be former owner of the former Washington Commanders. I believe they're going to change their name.
Yes, they will.
They're going to change their name again. A lot going on with that. Okay. We're going to spend time talking about that. And of course, Kyrie. I mean, just look at him. You know he did something, right? You know he did something. So we're going to discuss that and a lot more. And I'll give you the story about my altercation with 3 Spider-Men. Okay, 2 are on my side. Okay, but there was a little tussle that happened outside of the Cheesecake Factory on Halloween. So yeah. So you want to hear that story? Patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. That's how you sign up and be a part of the overtime show. I'll put it up on the screen because you guys love visuals. Right below Mikey, Patreon.com/LBHT Show. And still 60 people in here rocking with us at the end. Appreciate that. Hit that like button. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button. And if you are new and you're wondering how do people get the microphone man to lift his arm and give us raise the fist for us. Well, that's how we do our super chat. Okay. $LBHT Show right next to Mikey. That is our Cash App. Also, that pin link that you see in the comment will take you to our Stream Elements page. Yes, right there. Yes, right there. Both ways. All you have to do is leave a donation, leave a comment, and microphone man will give you the raised fist. All right, that's how we do it. All right, and as we showed you earlier, even if you donate after the show, right, or we missed your comment the first time, we can always bring it back. That's the beauty of how we do our super chat. We will never miss anything. If we miss it, we can bring it right back up. Right, they don't disappear forever. We always have them. So you just say, hey, you didn't read my comment, or we noticed it, or it's after the show. No problem. We can bring it right back up. Okay, so we can recognize you guys. All right, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any final words before we get out of here, gentlemen?
I got one thing to say. Eric DaCosta's head has to be spinning, right? Because did you hear our new linebacker say he represents himself too?
Yes.
Yep.
So wow, I know he definitely slammed the desk when he heard that. So he got some work ahead of him. But yeah, man, good show, guys. Appreciate you always for having me on. Forgive the noise in the
That's
background.
not noise. That's an assistant producer making sure everything is straight back there.
He
He's doing his
keeping
job.
keeping it in line. But listen, everybody in the chat, man, appreciate y'all. Love the support, man. And yeah, get over to that OT.
And you got to tell everybody where they can find you.
Look, you can find me over at let's see, where do I want to start? Let's start with Twitter, right? We're gonna go OTR_Mike at Twitter. Follow me there, and then every other link you need is there. But look, I do have a new show called Open Mic with OTR Mike. And I have 4 episodes out. There you go, right there. 4 episodes out, man. Go over there and check it out. Let me know what you think, man. I got a couple people that's been hollering at me. Dave, or cousin Davon, always showing love. He hollered at me today.
Yes, yes.
He enjoyed some episodes. So go over there, subscribe to the channel. I promise you I got more coming. I'm just getting started over there. So yeah, I appreciate you in advance.
All right. Hendo, what you got?
All right. Listen, I just want to thank everybody for coming, supporting the LBHT crew, showing that love, being proactive, inactive. I especially want to thank these 2 brothers right here for always bringing me on, giving me the exposure, backing me in everything that I do. Mike as well. Hey, I couldn't ask for any better people to be a part of this YouTube journey. I thank all of you from the bottom of my heart.
Salute. Appreciate it, man.
And
where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Ravens Online on Gatekeepers every Sunday night or after the Ravens game with a live stream. These brothers may be there as well. I also do a pregame video every Thursday at 6 p.m. You can find me also on Instagram and Twitter at @rgatekeepers. And you can find me on Twitch. I don't even know what it is. I'm sorry. I don't even really use it that much.
I'll put a link for it. We're gonna get our Twitch numbers up. Okay.
Right. I got one.
Let me add one more thing too before you go, guys. That everybody on this screen is on the latest episode of Open Mic. So and we are talking. Right. We're not talking sports. So if you want to see these guys in a different light, talking on something else other than sports, you need to head over there and check that out. I forgot that this was the foursome of that episode. So go over there and check that out.
And this is the logo right here. When you see this, that's where you know you've arrived at the right place. That's Ravens Online on Gatekeepers. All right.
And let him break your pocket with his merch, because that merch is fire over there that Hendo got.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. B, any final thoughts?
I would just leave with this. We're heading over to the OT. Mike, don't try and disappear like you normally do. I'm gonna be over there and then get lost.
I'm coming right over.
Hitting the next link. But we're gonna be talking about Kyrie Irving, and if you're not a big basketball fan and you don't know why that's a special thing, this is the guy who just got fired from working with Kyrie.
So, and that was filmed after he got fired.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So hit up the Patreon.com/LBHT Show and join us.
All right. We'll leave it there. Patrons, get ready. I know you didn't see the link, but the notification is going to come out in a couple of minutes. So be ready. Everybody else, thank you for hanging out with us. B, are you ready?
I am ready.
He is ready. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the week. We will see you next time. Peace out.